Welcome to First Down Sports. As always, I'm your host, Wray Dunn. Sitting down with at the end of my table tonight is my brother, Chris Dunn.
How's it going, eh?
Also to my left tonight is our producer, Andy Jardine.
Yo, how's it going?
And sitting at the back of the room on sound and audio is my little brother, Nicky Dunn.
Hey. Hi, Nick. Hi.
Now, all you people on video are wondering who's that guy at the end of the table there. I haven't mentioned him yet.
That old guy.
Super good looking.
Earlier in our podcast, we had numerous Wray Dunn Sr. visits with Pagula updates. And sitting at the far end of the table is my father, Wray Dunn. How you doing, Ray?
Very good. And Pagula sends his best wishes.
Best wishes. All right.
Awesome.
Now, look, before we get started tonight, guys, I want to mention to you, yes, you're listening to the podcast right now, but don't forget to check out our YouTube page. All you have to do is go to YouTube, search firstdownsportspodcast.com, and you'll see our YouTube channel. And there you'll be able to watch the videos of our podcast online as well. So you have the option of listening or watching. And our video quality has gone through the roof since Andy Jardine has joined our show. So
Working hard on it. So
working hard. Now, before we get started into the show here, I have to send out a big shout out to our sponsors. Once again, if it's Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, whatever night of the week it is,
Friday?
go see our buddies Moosehead with Moosehead Light. This stuff's scary good.
So scary.
Scary good. And if you're a sports team, a school team, or, organization, you name it, hats, shirts, T-shirts, you name it.
A shoe company?
Go see Doyle's Corporate Image. They're going to look after you.
A volleyball coach.
Doyle's rule.
Doyle's are the best.
Yeah.
And lastly, if your kitchen sucks, and you know,
It probably does.
good odds it does, you got to go see my little brother Nick's company, Done Right Buffalo Sauce. This stuff's going to clean your kitchen up quick.
So spicy.
So hot.
Gives out pens, too.
He's just so hot. He's so hot right now.
All right, let's get into some local sports. So, boys, we've been talking Atlantic University football the last couple of weeks. We've now completed week 2 of the season. And Bishop's University out of Quebec made its first game in the Atlantic University Conference. And they played against Acadia, who got beat by Mount A in week 1.
Yep.
There was a lot of unknowns about Bishops coming into the league about what they would bring, being a Quebec school. And Quebec, it's a much bigger population than Atlantic has, period.
And before you finish that, but do you know, as you're an inside guy with the AUS, do you know why they were moved?
Yeah, they requested to be moved. They were bottom of they weren't quite bottom, but they were around the bottom of the Quebec conference.
Right.
So
it's much stronger.
So to offer some, competitive advantage to them, they came to the AUS. Now there's a 6 team coming. I can't comment on that right now, but there is a 6 team coming.
It's insider
to
info,
the AUS,
folks.
and maybe
within cost you money.
Maybe within the next couple of weeks, I'll be able to release that. But Bishops enters the AUS against Acadia,
Community College.
and they lose their first game 27-10.
Right.
It was a very good football game, and I have to hand it. We talked about Acadia's quarterback, Cody Cluett. It's his second year playing in the AUS. He didn't look overly strong in week 1, but this week here he went 36 for 44, 302 yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions.
Jeez, that's almost 80%.
That's a pretty good day on the football field.
Yep.
Their running back, Cameron Davis, who is a local Moncton boy, Riverview High boy, running back, 24 attempts for 124 yards, no touchdowns, no fumbles. But 124 yards, that's a good day on the football field.
Mm-hmm.
Let's get over to Mount A, because I told you guys, and Andy, we talked about how strong Mount A looked in their home opener.
Yeah, been talking about it since the first game. Oh boy!
So they go down into Saint FX home opener, and they played against a second-year quarterback. He was backup last year. His name is Josh Miller. Now this kid, there's no statistics online, but he's at least 6'3", 6'4". He, honestly, if you go back and watch him and you look at Drew Bledsoe's rookie tapes or when he first came into the NFL, he looks like a young Drew Bledsoe.
How do you draw that comparison?
You don't hear a Drew Bledsoe comparison.
I know you don't. But
Yeah.
when he wore number 4,
Okay.
he's tall, he's skinny, and he's got an arm like you wouldn't believe. This guy can throw the ball deep downfield. He goes 21 for 31, 269 yards, 2 touchdowns, and they beat Mount A that just won 63-24, whatever that score was,
No.
37-0.
Yeah.
Ouch.
It was a sad, sad game. Did you officiate that?
I was a back umpire in that game.
Yeah, I was watching for you. I was watching on that Bell TV streaming.
Yeah.
And I was kind of live chatting with our Ottawa Red Blacks and CFL insider Ray Perkin.
Ray Perkins, W. Ray.
And it was a real
Ray?
depressing conversation. Let's just put it that way.
Well, he had put $20 down on the Mount A to win that game.
Oh, he didn't mention that part to me. Now I understand his
against
mood.
the former St. FX defensive tackle that now plays.
I guess a four? Like,
Yeah.
is that the band?
He
Foreigner?
now plays for the Ottawa Red Blacks. So
Okay.
raised down $20 this season with the AUS season.
It was a rough conversation. Yep.
But St. FX looked fantastic. I mean, they were. Let me tell you a quick story here about that game, and I'll make it as quick as I can. Early on into the game, and I wish I had the kid's name. I didn't write down the kid's name, but there was a St. FX player that graduated last year after 5 years of playing football, was in Toronto and was shot in an unrelated incident. From what I've been told, it was a gang incident, but he was just in the wrong place at the wrong
Just
time.
an innocent bystander.
Innocent bystander and passed away. So before the game, they had a big ceremony. They had his mother there. They had a girlfriend there. His whole family was there. And Mount A had to come out of the tunnel. They had to pass on flowers to the family, and St. FX did the same. And right from the get-go, you could see Mount A, their energy level had dipped from the time they came out of the tunnel.
Yeah.
And St. FX had something to play for. They were playing for this former teammate.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's going to have an impact over the rest of the season, but it definitely had an impact for that game.
It was hard to even figure out what the problem was. Like the dominant receivers couldn't get any separation. The quarterback, Luke's, wasn't playing well. I thought maybe, you know what, maybe they just they confirmed how high everybody was on them in week 1 and just came out with big heads. I don't know, but it was pathetic. It wasn't
really,
good. Yep.
It was a tough game. Yeah. Now, I just want to give a shout out here now because this Friday coming up, all the Canadian high schools are back in action. And as of this weekend, all the provincial minor programs across the country are back in action. So all the high school teams, whether it's McNaughton, Riverview High, Moncton High, Harrison Tremble, Tantramar, Matthew Martin, those are all the local teams. They're all in action starting this weekend. We'll talk a little bit of high school football. I'll give you guys updates on the games that I'm doing. I'm in the Harrison Tremble Odyssey game this weekend. But high school football in this area is great football. Make sure you get out to watch your local high school games as well. That being said, that's our local sports. The only other topic I have for you is Randy Gould and Wayne Quinn. I want to tell you, I love you boys. I can't say enough about you. But Jeremy Richard and Pierre-Luc Maillet, we'll see you next week in the Division II Championships, boys. Next week. Oh!
We got a Pagula update.
We have a Pagula update. This is fantastic timing, Nick. You really did a great job on that. So last time we had Wray Dunn SR on the program, we did a lot of talking about Terry Pagula. So you're down here now for a couple weeks. You're away from the Buffalo area, so you're not in touch with Pagula on a regular basis. The last time we spoke with you, he was firing and hiring coaches and GMs for the Buffalo Sabres and the Buffalo Bills. My biggest question for you is, heading into the new season for the Bills and the Sabres, where's Pagula's mindset these days? Like, what's going on in that mind of Terry Pagula?
I really haven't had too much conversation with him because he's very concerned about the rumors about the number of games they're going to win or lose. So he's trying to deal with that. And the last game of their preseason is kind of an indicator to me that they've got a good team.
Yeah.
And they could do very well. And there's a lot of people going around saying they're only going to win 2 games. I think they're going to win more than 2 games. I figure 500 will be there.
Wow, 500, 8-8. Wow, that's a good prediction.
Yeah, that's not bad.
Now, last time we talked, I mean, there was rumors coming in, and we might need another Pagula update here. But he was on a firing rampage. And, I mean, he was firing everybody at one point. Even he got to the point where he fired the popcorn vendors at New Era Stadium. And we're hearing that there may be a contract that has been settled between the popcorn vendors and Terry Pagula. Will there be popcorn at New Era Football Stadium this year?
There may be popcorn, but it'll be a different vendor.
Oh, thank
I
God.
think Dunn's right. Buffalo sauce.
Guns
over
right
there.
popcorn.
That's right, done right popcorn.
it's gonna be there.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
Just a rumor.
Just
a
contact
rumor.
us, Terry.
Yeah.
All right, there's some Terry Pagula updates now for you. Now, while we have you on the show, we got to ask you a couple trivia questions, all right? Because it's always good to test your knowledge in sports. So I have 5 questions, and I'm going to give you one right off the bat. We talked about this after our round of golf today, and before I let you answer, I'm going to give Andy a shot at this one.
Okay.
And then we'll go from there.
Is don't care an option?
No.
Okay, just making sure. Okay.
Here we go.
So I can't do that.
Get
All right.
out.
Here are some trivia questions. I want to know who scored the last goal at the Maple Leaf Gardens. Was it A, Bob Probert,
Yeah.
B, Wendell Clark, C, Matt Sundin, or D, Pierre Turgeon?
Probert.
Good job, Andy. Good job. There was a lot of discussion at our table
And
about
by
that.
the way, Chris and I were at that game.
You were at that game.
That I did not know.
Yes.
Is that Nick talking on the mic?
That is Nick.
That
mackerel.
is Nick Dockett. He's involved.
All right, here we go. This starts off with Dad. We're going to get his answers first. If he can't answer this, then we'll go to the table, okay? My first question for you, Dad, is how many weeks are there in the NFL season? Is it 14, 16, 17, or 21?
14.
Oh my God.
Wait, to be fair, that was probably the AFL era.
No,
The rock pile.
we're talking
Cookie
right-
Gilchrist. No, but the rock pile back when Buffalo played in rock pile. That was probably 14 games.
All right. How many games,
16
Andy, are
games,
there in the NFL?
Right, 17 regular season.
17 regular seasons. The answer is 17, folks. 17.
Okay.
All right. Next trivia question, number 2. When did the Leafs last win a Stanley Cup? Was it 1958, 1972, 1984, or 1967?
I had a 67 Chevy, so it's 1967.
There you go. He's one for one, folks. He's 1 for 1. All right, here we go.
Bill Baruco.
We're going back to
That was
football.
51.
Back to football,
Back
okay?
to football.
What team won the very first Super Bowl? Was it the Chicago Bears, the Green Bay Packers, the Cleveland Browns, or the Dallas Cowboys?
Cowboys.
Dallas
Cowboys.
Cowboys? Is that your final answer?
Yep.
That's your final answer? Andy, do you want to tell them who won the first Super Bowl?
I'm going to go ahead, Ray Sr., and say the Packers, and I think that's why the trophies, the Lambeau.
Lombardi, yeah.
Lombardi, sorry.
Yeah. There you go.
It's 100% that.
It's a Lamborghini.
It is.
Lambeau, yeah.
It is the
Macintosh.
Green Bay Packers. Green Bay Packers.
Bay Packers,
All right. Last trivia question. It's, again, Super Bowl related. What year was the very first Super Bowl? So was it 1965, 1967, 1970, or 1972?
That's a tight window.
65.
I have no.
Wow.
65.
The second one.
67?
Yeah.
Final answer?
Yep.
Okay. Do you guys want to take a shot at this one?
Was 62 an answer?
No. 1965, 1967, 1970, and 72.
I'll say 65 for
65, Chris?
Same.
Same? It was actually 1967.
Well done.
Very good.
I get a free pen.
4 for 5. You get a free pen.
That's his 4th one he took.
All right. So that's our little trivia game with Wray Dunn Sr. We're going to move over to some CFL news here real quick.
Can I ask you one thing, though? So you're a Toronto fan. There's a lot of guys that listen in that they're Toronto fans.
Yeah.
Who is the top guys? You've been watching the Leafs. We're Buffalo fans, but
Whoa, hold the boat. Whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa.
yeah,
He's a Leafs fan?
he's a Leafs fan.
Yeah.
He's been both. Hold on.
No.
I've
He's been
I've seen him more in Buffalo Sabre jerseys than I ever did in Toronto Maple Leafs jerseys.
He's always been a
Red
Toronto Maple
Kelly.
Leaf.
Red Kelly will always be my number one Toronto Maple Leafs.
So here's what I ask you. So as a forward, so Red Kelly's what position is
blown.
Red Kelly?
He was a defenseman.
Defenseman. So let's cross out Red Kelly. Give me your best.
sure I said
give me
no
your best.
rapid
Your
questions.
best Toronto Maple Leaf for give me your top 3 forwards. Top 3 forwards of the Leafs. What do you like?
Armstrong.
Armstrong. What? Okay.
What the?
Okay.
George Armstrong. He was a captain.
Yeah.
Wow, it's a toughie.
Daryl Sittler. You got to say Daryl
Yes.
Lanny
Sittler.
McDonald.
Yeah. And then there's 2
What
defense.
about
I
Ron
remember-
Ellis? Ron Ellis has got to be up there.
But then there's your defense.
Tim Horton
Tim Horton.
and
Yeah.
Alan Stanley.
There you go.
But you've always been a big Boris
I
Salming.
met Daryl Sittler.
No, Alan Stanley was
At a
born
Boston
where my
Pizza.
mother was born.
I met him in our
Okay.
corporate
Comes
booth.
from Timmins
Yeah.
or New.
I met him by
Schumacher.
mistake.
And then last,
You didn't.
And then last, who's your best goalie? Who's the best goalie the Leafs ever had?
Bauer.
Eddie Bauer. All right,
All right.
there you go. There's a Leaf. There's a Leaf.
You're welcome,
the
Leafs
Leaf
fans.
minute.
Yeah.
Do I get
All right.
another free pen?
Yes.
So,
Yeah, several.
Dig it.
all right, let's jump over to our CFL update real quick before we get into our NFL Week 1. So we've had a huge turnaround in the CFL Eastern Division. Last time we talked, there was the Eastern Division wasn't looking that strong, Andy. But I want to get your opinions now.
It isn't looking strong still, but all right. Yeah.
Our Ottawa Red Blacks are now in number 1. They're
Number
4-6-1.
All right.
Toronto's in second place at 4-7-0. Boom. Montreal 3-7-0. And guess what?
Yep.
Our Hamilton Ticats
got
have
off
finally
the
won a
schneid.
game at
Yep.
1-8.
Yep.
They beat the Toronto 24-22 just the other night.
But Johnny Manziel has been not recruited.
Not required just yet.
He's not back yet.
Is it still going? Because they said that no still.
I think it's cooled off a little bit, but we'll see. They haven't closed the door to it, but not sure. But they certainly did need him the other night to take out the Argos after a little bit of a lightning storm delay. I just had a feeling. I was talking to Ray before, and I said, I'm going to try to watch this game, and I watched it up to the delay.
Yeah,
and
me
I'm like,
too.
I can't waste my time on a Hamilton game any longer than that.
Well, they had skipped off the game and they went to past the Sports Center shows.
Yeah, exactly. So you lose me there, but I just had a feeling this new coaching staff was going to come in and make something happen. And they played hard. They got it done, despite Ricky Ray of the Argos. I think he had like an 88 completion percentage and threw for almost 500 yards or something, and it didn't matter. 400, I think at least.
Well, just to give you guys an update on last week's schedule, Ottawa beat Montreal 32-4. Winnipeg lost to Saskatchewan, who's on a major winning streak, 38-24.
Yeah.
Calgary beat Edmonton, so Edmonton's now 0-4 in their last 4
in a
games,
row.
39-18.
Edmonton.
And we already talked about Hamilton beating Toronto 24-22, so that leaves Calgary's now first place, 8-1-1. Winnipeg 7-3, and Edmonton's in third place now, 7-3 after going 7-0 to start the season.
And those are your 3 playoff teams plus Ottawa.
That's
Because
it.
they're going to cross.
Quick question. So did you get any feedback at all? Like, so once you brought up the idea of maybe making the CFL into a developmental league, for the NFL, did anyone reach out to you at all about like giving you negative feedback?
No, I haven't heard any positive or negative feedback from that conversation, and we had a lot of viewers as well as listeners from last week. But
I'm really curious.
I have some very interesting news, and Andy, I don't know if we should share it right now. Well, we might as well. On LinkedIn, I've just recently connected with Jacques Climie with the TSN broadcast, as well as I connected with Anthony Calvillo, former quarterback of Montreal. So I expect to have one or both of those guys on our program very shortly, and we can get into those conversations with them.
That's awesome.
And you want to know why our chances of landing them just went way up? He nailed both names.
Both names.
Absolutely nailed it.
And-
Calvillo, I was touch and go there for a bit.
And I didn't even practice those. I didn't even know that was going to come up.
I saw him looking in the mirror practicing them.
Calvillo.
Calvillo hits the ball with the buck. Okay, all right, here we go. This is the time of season that we all been waiting for. I mean, we've been talking about this season, and not only that, but you listeners, when we are in the NFL season, our viewership and our listens go through the roof. So we can't wait to get your interaction during this NFL season coming up. And guess what? It all kicks off tomorrow night. Now, I need to, before we even get into the NFL schedule, I need to let you know, we've been recording through the summer on Wednesday nights, and we release the podcast on Thursdays. We're going back as of next week. We're going to be recording on Tuesdays and releasing on Wednesdays. So when you're picking your games and your pick'em pools or whatever it is, maybe it's fantasy football, make sure you turn into firstdownsportspodcast.com because you know this is the best spot to get your expert advice here in the
Exactly.
Maritimes.
If you're worried about that Thursday night game, you come to the premier Atlantic experts. We cover New Brunswick, PEI, and select parts of Nova Scotia.
There you go.
Very
All right.
I'll steer you in the right way.
Week 1, here we go.
Especially him, yeah.
Tomorrow night, Thursday night, we have our first game to kick off the NFL season. We have Kansas City Chiefs playing in New England. New England's going for their 6th title in the Belichick-Brady era.
Boo.
My biggest question for you guys before we even pick the winner, what gate can we expect this year? What hashtag gate can we expect heading into the 2017-18 season?
That's a really good question. My goodness. The Zeke gate, maybe?
The Zeke gate? No, this has to do with
Oh,
New England.
it has to do with
New England, yeah.
Oh, Chris, you take a stab at it? Well,
You know what? I'll try to get creative. So it's going to be, let's say, somebody's going to hit Brady, and it's going to be somebody hurting Brady gate.
Injury gate?
Yeah, injury gate.
Injury
gate. Nobody should have slammed Brady down. It's going to be an injury gate.
Well, if he's a slam, better be like a suplex, like a suplex gate. Just
All right.
Straight.
Something real controversial.
German suplex.
Let's break this game down now. Chris, does KC stand any chance going into New England the night that they receive their 5th Super Bowl rings to win this game on the road?
Let me do it really quick. There's no chance that KC wins this game. It's all New England, 100%.
Andy, what do you think?
I mean, there's always a chance, but this is the last game I would even attempt to pick an upset on.
Okay.
First game of the year, you're not really sure what you're dealing with. I think KC is a strong team, but no, New England's going to
All right, New England's going to win. Nick, do you have any comments in the background?
Not at all.
Nothing?
No.
Come here.
No.
Dad,
You're sitting at the end of the table. KC or New England? What do you got?
As long as Brady and Belichick are together, you're not going to win.
All right, so we've got New England across the table because I too am taking New England in this game.
All
right.
I pumped all the balls up.
On Sunday, football really
Did I talk about
starts.
that?
And let's start off with the Jets at Buffalo. We got Tyrod Taylor is starting for the Buffalo Bills on Sunday. My question to you guys is this. Which team is prepared to tank the most? The New York Jets or the Buffalo Bills? Chris, you're on the clock.
I don't buy in the Buffalo's doing the tank. 100%. There's my biggest prediction this year. Buffalo's not doing the tank as the Jets are. No. So the Jets are gonna be the biggest tank.
Okay, Andy, what do you think about this?
Yeah, I mean, the Jets are attempting to tank more than any team I've ever seen in the NFL. Like, I'm very sure Todd Bowles is going to try to win with what he has, but management's purposely giving him nothing to work with.
Nothing to work
Is
with.
this as close as we've seen to the Major League, like just like the movie?
I mean, it's
It's pretty close,
It's
isn't
Pretty
it?
close.
Yeah.
All right, let's go around and make our picks on this game. So let's start down at the end of the table. Oh, what? No?
Never mind.
Dad, at the end of the table, who are you taking, Jets or Bills?
Bills by 14 points.
14.
Bills. Wow. Chris, what do you got?
I say, yeah, pretty close. Probably 20.
20 points, Andy?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going Bills here too. However, the spread on it is -7.5, and I actually think the Jets are going to cover that. I think
Wow.
it's going to be a low-scoring game. I think they're going to give them a good one, and we'll see.
Based on what I've seen in the preseason, I also think it's going to be a close-scoring game. But I do have Buffalo to win this game.
Sure.
Nick, back at the
Same
table.
thing.
All right.
Buffalo, all right.
Buffalo across the board.
So
All right.
far we got New England, Buffalo across the board. Let's get into the next big one here. And this is Pittsburgh at Cleveland.
Ooh, real
All
big
right.
one.
So Cleveland's starting their rookie QB.
Yeah.
And
so sad.
Martavius Bryant is finally going to actually play in a regular season game in Pittsburgh for the last 2 years since he was drafted.
It's been a while.
So, Andy, let's start with you. What are your thoughts heading into this game, Pittsburgh versus Cleveland?
It's going to be really strange seeing Joe Hayden in a Pittsburgh uniform going head to head with Sammy Coates in a Cleveland Browns uniform. It's going to be strange. Even though it's at First Energy Stadium in Cleveland, Pittsburgh just has the Browns number. It takes a lot going right for them to have a chance at this. If the defense continues to look as strong as it has, and they get some key big plays from special teams, there's a chance. But I mean, this is a lock for Pittsburgh to win this game.
Wow, a lock. Is that your lock of the week?
No, not my lock of the week.
All right.
I couldn't do that to them, but yeah, Pittsburgh should handle business here with that potent offense.
Okay, Chris, any thoughts down there?
Yeah, this is as close as it's going to be to like a New England, just as New England's going to crush their team, Pittsburgh's going to crush the Browns. It's not even going to be close.
Okay, Nick, back at the table. What do you
Pittsburgh
think?
all the way.
Pittsburgh?
Yeah.
All right, let's go to our guest, Dunn Sr. What do you got here?
I'm going to say that because everybody thinks they're an underdog, I'm going to vote for Cleveland.
Wow.
I like
going
it.
Cleveland.
I
Nice,
like it.
nice. I got to go Pittsburgh here. With their offensive weapons, if Ben can come out and even put up a half-decent game, I think Pittsburgh wins this game.
Oh yeah.
Pittsburgh wins this
Rookie
game.
quarterback.
All right,
All
next.
right, let's go to the next game. Philadelphia at Washington. So Wentz is starting his second year, and Cousins, the franchise man, one of the highest paid players in the NFL. Chris, what do you got starting for this game here? Philadelphia, Washington.
You know, my first instincts are go to Washington, and I think that's the team that's going to win. But I think it could be a lot closer than what we think. I really like how Philadelphia played at the end of the year, especially at the end of the year last year. This is a tough one. This is going to be a lot closer to what people think. But if I had to bet, which I am, I'm going to go with. It's not going to be Philly. It's not going to be Philly. I'll go with the latter.
Okay.
Andy, what do you think?
Yeah, the spread on this one's only 0.5. It's basically a pick'em, and it's hard not to side with the home team on week one when things are unknown. But I'm going Philly.
Yeah.
I think Philly's going to walk in there and take this game.
Very easily seen that done. Yep.
Nick, anything from the back of the room?
I have Washington.
Washington?
Yeah.
How about our guest? What do you got down there?
I'm with my nickel. I'm going Washington.
Okay.
My name is Nick.
Well, I am with Andy on this one. I'm 100% Philly on this, and this is almost my lock of the week. Almost lock of the week.
That much?
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah, I really think
close.
Philadelphia is going to take. Their defense looks fantastic.
Yeah, I like it too.
Okay, Atlanta Falcons at the Chicago Bears. Matty Ice Ryan is trying to make up for a Super Bowl loss, and Chicago has the benefit of no Jay Cutler anymore. So, Andy, let's start with you. Falcons at Chicago.
I have to go Falcons here. I mean, they don't play great on the road outside of their little dome, but it's early in the year. The weather's not bad yet. Atlanta, come on.
Okay, Chris?
Yeah, Atlanta all the way. I'm really interested to see how Trubisky?
Trubisky.
Yeah, Trubisky. I really like Trubisky in the preseason. And
Right.
once Glennon's gone, you know what? If Trubisky was starting, I think this would be a little closer. I
he's
really
not,
like the
though.
kid. I know he's not. I know he's not.
You did hear that they released Howard as far as a running back goes, eh?
They released him.
They released Jordan Howard, yeah.
Jordan Howard is gone.
Is gone. So some team will most likely pick him up.
100% gone.
Yeah.
But even without and Meredith being gone, did you see him playing in the preseason? I think everyone made fun of Chicago about trading up. I think that kid's a stud.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Oh, I agree, but just as far as week one goes, he's not playing.
You're true. Yeah,
It is what it is.
Yeah.
Let's go to Nick. Nick, back of the room. Atlanta Falcons or at Chicago?
I'd bet Chris's house Atlanta would win.
Nice.
Thanks.
All right.
And
My
High
poor kid.
stakes.
My
let's
poor kid.
go to our guest.
Sorry, Karen.
Ray Dunn Sr., Atlanta Falcons at Chicago. Atlanta Falcons is a football team. They're in Atlanta, Georgia.
Yeah, I think
Bears.
The Bears.
he's going to the Bears.
Wow. All right.
The Bears.
I myself am taking Atlanta Falcons in this. Okay.
Good pick, Dad.
All right. Let's go to the next game. We're going to move through these as quick as we can. And in this game, it's almost a who cares for me. Baltimore at Cincinnati.
Oh,
Andy, you take the lead on this, seeing this as an AFC North Division rivalry.
yeah. It's a down year for both teams.
Is Flacco even starting? I don't think Flacco's
yes, he
starting.
is.
They
He's
they
starting.
say he's going to, but I don't quite buy it. Like, I could see it being a late week decision and him to end up not going. It's Cincy for sure if he doesn't play. I'm gonna call Cincy anyways. I'll go with the home team on this one. It's a down year for both of them, but low scoring.
Okay.
I think
Low
Yep.
scoring. Chris, what do you got here?
If Flacco starts, I give him the nod. If not, I go to the ladder.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, Baltimore looks pretty good. They got Mike Wallace and they got
I like it.
Macklin there. I mean,
When has Mike Wallace done
both
anything?
defense? Both defense.
Not since
But
Pittsburgh.
But Macklin is an upgrade. I think he's just as equivalent to Smith
Torrey Smith.
Senior.
Yeah.
No, Smith Senior.
Okay.
He just retired. I think Macklin could actually give a little bit more dynamic, and they have a better running back this year.
Chris, that's a pretty crazy comparison. Like, did Steve Smith Sr. to Jeremy Macklin?
At the end of his career, not his full career.
Okay,
At
fair
the
enough.
end of his career, yeah, I go Macklin.
Okay.
Don't point at me.
I will.
all right.
Nick, talking to your mic.
Nick, talk to your mic. Nick.
Talk to the mic.
I've told him to, Nick. All right, Nick, Baltimore, Cincinnati.
I'm gonna go with Bengals.
Sorry, the Bengals.
All right, Ray Dunn Sr. at the end of the table. Are we going Baltimore or Cincinnati here?
I'm with Dexter, the Bengals.
All right.
Bengals.
What
do you got?
For me, I can't stand Andy Dalton. I think I've made that pretty clear.
Red Rocket.
I want to go Baltimore, but I don't know 100% sure Joe Flacco's health, so I too am going Bengals in this game.
So I'm alone. I'm alone with.
Yeah, you're
Yeah,
alone.
you're all alone.
Okay, here we go. Our next
fun.
game, Oakland at Tennessee. So Derek Carr is back from his broken leg, which I've never seen a leg broken that bad, and a guy coming back. And we got Mariota looking to make a big step forward this year. Chris, who do you got in this one, Oakland or Tennessee?
I really like Tennessee. I'm going with Oakland, but I think Tennessee. I think they're going to be a lot. They're going to be a good team this year. I like the defense. I like that they picked up Davis as their wide receiver. There's a lot of good intel on him, but I don't think they're going to beat. I don't think they're going to beat them for week one. I think they need some time.
Okay, Andy, what do you got here?
I think Oakland needs a bit of time too to gel. New running back, and quarterback coming off injury though. He's been looking good, but I'm gonna side with the home team here. I'm gonna go with Tennessee. It's hard to do because you guys know I don't believe in Tennessee, but I think they can handle this week one.
Yeah.
Wow.
Nick, anything?
All for the Raiders.
Raiders? Ray Sr., you want to throw a comment in here?
Tennessee.
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 There we go. Nice.
I'm also all about Tennessee in this game.
Okay.
I do like their team. I think their team looks fantastic. We've talked about Mariota and how he's developed and how he's grown. I just don't know what Derek Carr is going to come back playing like in his first NFL season game since that whole leg.
Tennessee has all the pieces, and the only thing that can make this team not succeed is themselves.
That's right.
And that's the part that I'm worried about with them.
Well, I've got Tennessee in this one.
Yeah.
Now I'd
Me
love to talk about Tampa Bay and Miami because I'd love to talk about some Jay Cutler and
Bye week.
But that is now a bye week.
Yeah.
They're going to reschedule this game to week 11.
Can you imagine Cutler's like, all right, back to vacation.
Yeah, back vacation.
Lights a cigar, off he goes.
All right, let's get over to Jacksonville versus Houston. So, we just canceled the Miami game. Houston, who's still underwater, they are going to have to deal with the new running back of Leonard Fournette, and I think Blake Bortles is going to be running for his life because J.J. Watt is back. What? Andy, What do you think about this game? Who do you got?
Houston's going to take care of it.
Yeah.
They don't. Jacksonville doesn't have. Jacksonville is a really good defense. I think this is going to be a low scoring game, but I think when we're finished, we're going to go, wow, that Houston defense is dominant.
All right, my question for you guys is this before we even get started with Chris's opinion on this. Will we see Deshaun Watson in this game? Chris, you're up.
Goodness.
No, we won't see him.
No.
And I am going to go with, actually, surprisingly, Jacksonville. I like Doug Marrone. I do. Doug Marrone, as much as everybody hates him, or may not hate him, but I think he's he's not the most liked head coach in the league. But Doug Marrone gets results. And
This sounds like an upset of the week. Would you call it that?
I'm going to call it an upset of the week. Jacksonville will beat Texas. And I'm basing it on that Texans quarterbacks, we don't know what they're going to look like.
Right.
We're already talking about Watson coming in. We don't know what I do like Savage, but for the first game of the week, that's one of the hardest games to plan for. I like Jacksonville's defense. I think they're a solid squad. And I really like Fournette. I think Fournette could really make a big difference here.
Here's the big upset.
There you go.
Nick, what do you got at the back of the room?
Houston all the way.
Houston. Ray.
Me and Dad are going to Jackson.
All right. Well, here's my thoughts. I can't even believe we're talking about Jacksonville. I mean, when we looked at the strength of that Houston defense last year without J.J. Watt, I just do not know how Jacksonville is going to even move the ball against this team this year. I've got to go Jacksonville I've got to go Houston all the way here. I'm almost riding Houston right to the Eastern Conference Final this year.
I think he's still worried about the fire alarm.
Wow.
All right. Next game up, we got Arizona at Detroit. We have the highest paid QB in the league, Drew Stafford. Andy, before we even get into the game, can this quarterback live up to his contract this year?
Yeah, the perception of the fan, Drew Stafford, huh? So
Matt Stafford.
So
Matt Stafford.
Oh,
On to
wow.
hockey. Winnipeg Jets.
So Matt Stafford's gonna have an awful hard time living up to the contract in the fans' eyes because everybody looks at the top, the dollar amount thing. But no, I think he's going to have a really solid year. I think he's going to be as good as he was last year, which is just kind of good enough for them not to do anything in the end.
All right, give us your pick. Arizona at Detroit.
I'm picking Detroit. I'm going home team here just because I don't know what to expect from Arizona, and again, it's a bit of a trip for them. So.
Yeah. Chris, what do you got?
Well, I think it could be a close game, but I am leaning more towards Arizona. They started off flat last year. I think they could easily come back and be the team that they should have been. So I'm going more for the first game. It's hard to predict, but I'm going more Arizona on this one.
Okay, Nick, back to the room.
I'm also going Arizona.
Arizona, Dad,
Birds.
down at the end of the table.
I got to disappoint my boys, Detroit.
There we go.
Well, I can't believe it. The three Dunn boys agree with something here. I'm also going with Arizona in this
All right.
game. Carson Palmer,
Traders.
First, it all comes down to David Johnson. It comes down to ball control, and David Johnson can definitely control that clock for them.
Yep.
Arizona.
Here we go. We got another big game. We have Indianapolis versus the LA Rams. No Andrew Luck for the Colts. And we have the Buffalo Bills' top two wide receivers of 2016 lining up for the Rams. Chris, give us your thoughts on this game.
I got a question though. Is Ball playing? Do you know if he's signed back? Like, is he coming back for the LA Rams?
Who?
Right, the defensive tackle, Ball.
Ball.
I have not even heard that name.
I know who you mean. It's not.
Oh,
Ball,
geez.
but,
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I got a mental block. You know what I'm talking
yeah.
about.
So he's still held out right now. He's one of the best D tackles in the whole league, and I can't think of his name right now either.
I think of him as a big balling.
He's still held out right now.
Donald.
Aaron Donald.
Yeah,
So-
Aaron Donald.
Yeah, he's still held out right now, so we don't know. So we'll see.
If he's playing, like, I don't think that there's anything that offensive line can stop him one bit. Add in that Luck's not playing, I say 100% LA Rams. And so even even if I'm going to LA all the way LA.
Out of the way, Andy, give us your thoughts.
I hope so. This is my lock of the week. Scott Tolzien couldn't play for Matthew Martin High.
Nice.
And the Rams have a really good defense, and I don't even care what they're off. There's not going to have to
Can
do
I ask you
anything.
a quick question?
Stomp them.
Why Matthew Martin High? Like, how come not Bernice McNaughton?
I've never even heard of that school.
Moncton High?
I don't know. I just kind of...
Nick,
Matthew Martin sound fun to say.
Colts or Rams?
I'm going with the Colts.
You going Colts?
Yeah.
Wow.
Colts. This is my score.
Down the end of the table, Dunn
Colts
Senior.
all the way.
Colts all the way.
Andrew Luck's not even playing.
I
Don't need Andrew Luck.
You
I
got
have
Gore. You got Gore as what's he? 42-year-old running back.
All right.
I have to agree with my two fantasy experts. I'm going with the Rams all the way in this game.
Good call.
Yeah. All right, here's another real sleeper. Oh, there's our
fire
2-minute
alarm.
timer again.
That means we talked a little too long. All right,
Good job. Good job, Nick.
Yeah.
All right, we've got another big, exciting game here. We got Carolina at San Francisco.
Carolina.
We have Cam Newton. Will he progress in 2017? And we've got a brand new regime in San Francisco. So, Chris, give us your thoughts on Carolina and San Francisco.
Well, Luke Lucci is back, and I love the Carolina defense, and I'm going to go with Carolina on this. They have some new weapons. Benjamin's come in that he's looking a lot better than what he did last year, a little bit lighter. So I'm going with Carolina all the way.
Luke Clucci. That was a Ray moment there, Chris. Wow. Luke Kuechly.
Yeah.
No, it's okay. That's why I'm here. That's why I'm here. This is my upset special.
Oh, boy.
If you look back to last year, the 49ers won their almost seemingly only game of the year. There was another one that was ridiculous. Week 1 absolutely blew out the Rams last year. Everybody thought, wow, 49ers is not as bad as we thought, right? Carolina doesn't travel so well to the West Coast. It's week 1. I needed an upset special. I'm going big on this one.
Wow, you're going San
Don't do it.
49ers.
People. Don't do it, people.
49ers. Nice.
No, not this one.
Yeah. No, I wouldn't advise you going with me if you're watching, but this is
do
my
it.
upset special.
Upset special of the week. Nick, who do you got? Carolina at San Francisco.
I have the Panthers.
Panthers.
100%.
Ray Senior, do you got an opinion on this?
Carolina all the way.
Carolina. Wow.
Panthers.
This is a segment called
This
Don't Listen to Andy.
this is almost almost a coin flip for me. I would almost be willing to flip a coin, but I do think I got to go with Carolina on this one. Carolina. All right. So here's my big game of the week. I think this next game is the game of the week, bar none.
Okay.
No game is going to be exciting as this game.
Giants, Cowboys?
It's Seattle at Green Bay Packers.
Oh, boy.
Will Green Bay's D play like a contender? And my other big question is, will Green Bay's team get off to a better start than it did in 2016? Andy, let's start with you.
I hate to do this again, but I think this would be considered an upset. Certainly not an upset special. I think Seattle's going possibly to the Super Bowl, and the Packers are going to go far too. But I think I'm calling Seattle.
Seattle
Going
nice.
into Lambeau Field.
I don't like it. Chris, who do you got?
I refuse to go against Rodgers in the first game. I like Montgomery. I think the young guy, who's the young guy, the Williams, the backup running back for Green Bay.
Sure.
I really like what they're going to bring.
Tim Williams. I don't know.
Yeah.
Somebody look it up.
Look it up. Thanks, Nick.
Clarence Williams.
Clarence Williams. I really like. Well, there's so many
Going to have
Williams in the league.
tremendous impact on this game.
Yeah. Well, you know what? I really like Green Bay, and I think it's going to be hard to go against week 1 to go against Aaron Rodgers.
Fair enough. I made my mind up on this one long ago.
Nick, what do you got back there?
I like cheese.
Cheese? You're going cheese, right?
Jeez.
Yep.
Ray Senior, you got an opinion on this one? Seattle at Green Bay?
Green Bay
Green Bay.
all the way.
I have to take Green Bay.
Because they're your Super Bowl darlings.
I can't talk about their backup running back, Clarence Williams, but I will talk about their wideouts.
You haven't researched it then.
Jordy Nelson, right? You got Javonte Adams. You got
Javonte?
the new you got the new tight end,
going well.
Martellus Bennett. I mean, Randall Cobb on the outside.
Give me a hard go. You know what? I make mistakes. Come on.
How's this team even get stopped And again, Ty Montgomery's there. Oh, there's our timer.
Let's go next.
You're making a good point. I think
All right,
I'm
great
crazy for
point.
picking Seattle, but I'm sticking with them.
Green Bay is my pick of the week there.
Lock.
All right, another big game. I mean, this game is big. It's the New York Giants at the Dallas Cowboys.
Huge.
And I think there's a couple major distractions going on in Dallas right now. We got Ezekiel Elliott with his 6-game suspension. He is going to be allowed to play in week 1. And the other huge distraction for the Dallas Cowboys is the fact that Jim Fowler is going to be down in Dallas at this football game wearing a Giants uniform. Chris, what do you got? New York Giants at the Dallas Cowboys.
Cowboys. Even if Zeke's not playing, they got the offensive line to pay. You name whoever's going to be back there, that running back's going to look good. McFadden, I know some are saying that's going to be the heavily favored running back. I love Dez. Dez looks great this year. And I love the defense for the Cowboys, all the way Cowboys.
Yeah.
Andy, what do you got?
Yeah, if I wasn't calling so many upsets already, I'd be tempted here a little bit, but not enough. No, I don't think the Giants have any running game, so they're not going to be able to control the clock at all.
All right.
Everything else about the Giants is great, though, but I think the Cowboys will take care of business here.
Nick, what's your thoughts back there?
Dallas all the way.
Dallas all the way.
Yeah.
Dad, what do you got? Cowboys or Giants?
How about those Cowboys?
Cowboys.
Give them how about those Cowboys?
How about those Cowboys?
How about those Cowboys?
There you have it.
All right, folks. Well, here you haven't heard my
Giddy up.
pick yet because this is my upset of the week.
Wow.
Upset of the week. We talked about running games. I think you guys are going to be overly surprised by what Paul Perkins brings to the New York Giants running game.
If he runs for 20 yards, I'll be surprised. So, yeah, you're right.
You'll be very surprised. This guy can put up yards. Plus, they're wide receivers. We've already talked about it with OBJ. Now, I know there's questions, but he's going to start week 1.
You
Plus, Brandon Marshall. I think the Giants are really going to be in for a good run this year. You mentioned in our last podcast that 3 of the NFC East teams could make the playoffs this year.
Yep.
I agree with you 100%. Washington's out. Dallas, the Giants, and Philadelphia are going to the playoffs this year, and I think the Giants kick off week 1 with a win on the road at Dallas.
That'll be huge if they do.
Yeah, that's
That'd be
my
fun.
upset for the week. All right. Monday Night Football. Are you ready for some football, Nikki?
I'm ready.
Are you ready for some football?
I'm very ready.
I'm not overly ready for this first game because we're going to get into New Orleans at Minnesota. I mean, I'm going to be asleep before the first quarter. All right. Chris, why don't you tell us your thoughts on New Orleans at Minnesota?
Well, there's. I actually picked. I was saying that was going to be my upset of the week. If Andy didn't give me too much credit on. If you look on the CBC, CBC.
That's okay, CBC. It came in right after one of our heritage commercials.
Are you sure it's not PBS?
PBS. Well,
Cut that out.
but they rated the Saints at 35% to 67% to the Vikings.
Yeah.
But I think the Saints offense is there's too much offense. I think it's going to be a big scoring game, but the Saints prevail.
Okay.
Andy, what do you think?
I'm very tempted to go Minnesota because they're not yet playing in their new dome. Drew Brees does not play well outside at all. I don't even care if the weather's bad, and they don't travel well. His home and away splits are terrible. But again, I'm gonna side with them. I'm predicting big things for the Saints this year, and I think week 1 where the weather isn't too insane yet, he'll go out there and get it done. So I'm gonna go Saints.
Awesome. Nick, back in the room.
Vikings.
Vikings.
Vikings coming in.
Nice pick.
Ray Dunn Sr., what do you got?
I'm a Viking.
Viking. Well, I have to go with my dad on this one. Yeah. I am also going Vikings, and it's not necessarily because of Sam Bradford at quarterback. I mean, he is still a quality quarterback in this league, but the Minnesota defense is still a top-notch defense.
They're very good.
Playing at home, and like you said, Drew Brees is not 100% on the road. I'm going Vikings in this one.
Yeah.
I like it.
I can see it happening.
Last game of the week, we got the LA Chargers at the Denver Broncos. Brock is back. while Cleveland is paying for him.
Yeah.
Andy,
Yeah.
what the heck's going on here?
Hold on, though. The saving grace here is that there's offset language in his contract. So the fact that Denver picked him up for the veteran minimum, that means Cleveland's not paying him $16 million. They're paying him $15.25 million. So there's a lot of relief there.
Wow.
Elway looks like a genius, though, in this, does he not?
I think he gets a little too much credit for his personnel decisions.
He does. He looks like a genius in this. He doesn't match the contract when he goes to Houston.
Right.
Lets him walk. Now he's picking them up, and he's getting a player that he wanted in the first place,
Yeah.
and another NFL team's paying the salary.
Yeah.
That's a pretty good deal.
I guess so. Yeah.
I don't like to give Elway credit for anything,
He
but
gets
you
a little.
have to
He
give him
gets a
credit
little
for
too
this one.
much credit for the personnel, that he lucks into a little bit. I mean,
All right.
come on, yeah.
Chris, what's your thoughts on this game?
Oh, jeez.
This is a hard game.
It is.
rough.
It's a tough one. What's the spread on it? What are they saying on that?
The spread on this one is Denver 3.5, so they have to win by 4 to cover the spread.
You know, I lean between. I do like Denver. I love the defense. I'm gonna go heavily on the defense on this.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
Nick,
I'm going Denver.
Denver. All right, Ray Senior, you got anything?
Denver Broncos.
Denver Broncos. Wow. You know what? I was leaning Denver all the way on this, and I literally in the last 5 seconds, I am thinking Chargers. And Chris, I'm thinking of your theory on this. You keep talking about Phillip Rivers, Keenan Allen, Melvin Gordon. The Chargers are bringing a lot to the table. And you talked about the fact that they could win this division this year. And honestly, I'm telling you, in the last 5 seconds, my mind has changed. I'm going LA Chargers here.
You know,
Wow. Okay.
I'm a big fan of the Chargers. I just think the very first week with that defense, I think they need some time to gel.
Yeah.
There's been a lot of injuries.
I'm going. If you want my pick, I'm going Denver too.
Okay, all right. Well, I thought you
yeah.
gave it to us right up front.
Well, no. Well,
Okay. You
maybe
talked
I-
about Brock. Okay.
exactly. You just asked me about Brock, but I actually think Trevor Simeon's looked amazing.
Yeah.
And I think he's going to be fine, and it's going to be a tough trip for Chargers. Sorry, Chris. Continue.
Right.
No, just saying that I think it's going to take time for the Chargers to gel, but when they do, watch out.
All right.
But not
Nice.
week one. Not
Okay.
week one.
That's your week 1 wrap up, folks. Don't forget to go to our pick'em pool, which Andy has set up here. We have 45 people signed up for the pool so far. Andy?
Yeah,
What's it?
and you can still sign up, but you better do it in the next, I don't know, hour and a half. That's about how much time you have.
You
so.
got to get it up, get it going. If you have any questions, you can send us a message through our Facebook page. Email us at firstdownsportspodcast@gmail.com. Get in touch with us. We want to help you get on the site so you can start making your picks for an opportunity to win some Mooselight as well as a number of other prizes from our sponsors as well. Again, Done Right Buffalo Sauce, they've dedicated another 88 bottles of sauce to us. So we want to make sure you guys get that for football season.
Another 88.
All right. So before we get out of here tonight, Chris, can I get your final thoughts before we leave here?
Oh, and pens, yeah. So the final thoughts are, we did a fun little golf outing tonight, and apparently the golf champion walked off the course. Nick, what do you think? We scared him off the course.
There was a little bit of thunder and lightning out there, but
thunder and
as
lightning
soon as
and
that
the
horn
horn-
went off,
the horn was ringing.
You just saw like a cloud of smoke.
The horn was
way he
ringing,
flew off
and the rules of golf. If you
What
guys
was he?
watch PGA, you have the option of either playing your ball or leaving the course.
Was it Dormy 3, Nick? Dormy 3?
Army 3 with 3 left.
My only question, you guys, is where are your balls? Because mine's sitting in the middle of the fairway waiting to play tomorrow morning.
My balls were out on the course, still swinging my club while you raced back in.
All right, let's talk one other thing about that round of golf that Chris is talking about. The age of competition was 118,
there you go. Oh, my God.
118 to 81, and no strokes for the 74-year-old
Ray's
man.
played 75 rounds of golf, and
I
Nick and
played
I.
3.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah.
Andy, what's your final thoughts?
After that, not much. It's Ray Senior. It's nice seeing you.
Nice seeing you.
Nick, back to the room. Any final
My
thoughts?
ball was still on the court. Oh, sorry. I was still
That's a
arguing
two-stroke
that
penalty.
point.
It's in your pocket now.
No final thoughts here. I'm just excited for actually the Bills game on
Awesome.
Sunday.
All right. Well, here's my final thoughts. Before we get to my final thoughts, let's thank our sponsors here first. Again, if it's a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday night, go out, get yourself some Moosehead Light. This stuff is scary good. You'll be able to get some this Friday night at Cheers after the Harrison Trumbull football game. All the officials will be back there having a couple drinks. And if you're a sports team, an organization, now you're back to school teams, and you need hats, shirts, jerseys, whatever.
Binder company.
Binder company.
If you need a
wrestler.
campfire notebook.
Zebras.
All right.
All right.
You go see Doyle's Corporate Image. Those Doyles, they're pretty good.
Rule.
Doyle's rule.
roll.
And lastly, if your kitchen sucks, and most likely it really does, I mean, let's be honest.
A lot.
You got to go get yourself some Done Right buffalo sauce. This stuff will fix your kitchen up real quick.
So spicy.
And Nick will also supply pens.
Free pens.
Free pens.
Free pens.
All right. Here's my final thoughts tonight. First of all, I want to thank my father for coming on to the show tonight. It's been great having you on. You've been right from the beginning when you were on our show. I got numerous messages saying how funny you were, and they wanted more Wray Dunn Sr. So now you've got to see him on film here tonight, folks. Also, I want to give a big shout out to our up and coming guest, Jay Onright, in the fact that they are officially back on TSN. Him and Dan O'Toole. I don't know if you got to see their first episode.
What a great show.
But
awesome
it was
show.
fantastic. So we want to wish them all success, and we can't wait to have Jay on our show here in the next 2 weeks.
Woo!
And lastly, I can't believe we're about to watch Game 1 of the NFL regular season tomorrow night.
Yep.
Well, when you guys listen to this today, all right? It's amazing. And last but not least, I want to wish a good season to all the local high school football teams as well as the minor associations. I know all you kids, or some of you that listen to our program, good luck to you guys this year. Make sure to check out our website, firstdownsportspodcast.com, for more up-and-coming news and contests. And outside that, you guys have a great week. Enjoy week 1 of the NFL season.
Woo!
Go Bills!
Go Bills! Oh. Ah!